All right, just a few hours until kickoff. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Fantasy Football Today on this Tuesday afternoon. Adam with Dave and Chris here. We're answering your Thursday afternoon. I'm sorry. We're answering your questions here. Wow.
What did you say?
I said Tuesday.
Well, I can get that. I see that.
Right. Yeah, they start
Tuesday, Thursday. I mean, everybody makes that mistake.
I hope this
Tuesday night football.
Yeah.
Hey, let's start over. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Thursday afternoon show. We're just a few hours away from kickoff, Cowboys and Bucs tonight. Answering your starter sit questions here in the chat. We got a ton of questions, so if I miss it, just feel free to fire away again, but don't be the person who sends it like 10 times.
Yeah, so these are all, we're answering all questions for Tuesday night's Maction game, right? Miami of Ohio versus... I don't know, another MAC team.
Well, we will have a
Michigan
Tuesday show. We will have a Tuesday show, 8 p.m. on Tuesdays, 2 p.m. on Thursdays, and 11:30 p.m. on Sunday, plus Sunday night, our podcast
Adam,
streaming live. Yes.
11:30 a.m.
What'd I say?
p.m. You have one job.
I'm not going to lie to you. I woke up about 20 minutes ago from a glorious nap. All right, let's go here. Let's go. Peter B.
It's football season. It's week 1, and you're napping.
Hey, dude, I was working late and working early. I was exhausted. I promise.
Welcome to the club, kid. I've been doing it for almost 20 years.
I bet I beat you. Last night,
you definitely did.
Yeah, okay. Gaskin or Carson?
I'm also like 10 years older than you. I'm going Carson over Gaskin.
I'm going Carson over Gaskin as well.
You know, the nice thing about, and they're back-to-back in my PPR rankings, the nice thing about the matchup for Carson is that I still think he's going to get the lion's share of that workload. And I think Gaskin will in Miami, but I think the matchup's a little bit better for Carson.
Hey, I feel much more confident in Carson's workload than Gaskin's, though.
We just don't know that Gaskin's definitely going to get that short yardage work.
Before I read this question here, Dave, would you say DeAndre Swift, he seems to be full go. Do you think he's going to get the Lions' share of the work? That's what I was doing. I was working at 12:30 at night. I was working on that one.
That's what you're working on at any point in the day. It's a disgrace. I think he'll see the majority. I don't think it'll be the Lions' share. I still think the Lions are going to try and take it easy on him, but I do like him in PPR. I think he does get a lot of check down passes. I think Jared Goff's going to be scared to throw downfield.
Let's read this one here. Full point PPR, Claypool, Shenault, or Boyd?
I'm going to go Boyd.
Yeah, Boyd.
I think things are set up nicely for him in Cincinnati all year, but especially against the Vikings. Minnesota's got an interesting duo of outside corners, but in the slot, they have ex-Bengal Mackenzie Alexander. You don't think Boyd lined up against Alexander in practice last year? I think we're going to see Tyler Boyd have a pretty good game.
Yeah. All right. John wants to know, he needs a starter and 2 flex, Ayuk, Shenault, Gaskin, Tyler Boyd. Very similar here. Starter and 2. All right, so 3. Who are you sitting? Ayuk, Laviska, Gaskin, or Boyd?
I'm sitting Laviska out of that group.
So it
should be Ayuk.
Well, who's it down to?
Let's talk about Ayuk here. Do we know his role in week 1 coming off the injury?
He's going to be a receiver. That's his role. But I don't know how much they're going to need receivers against the Lions. This is a 49ers team that I think is very content to run the ball like crazy, and I think they'll be able to do it. And they'll be able to do it with not just Mostert and not just Sermon, but also with Trey Lance. And I think that we're going to see them not throw a ton. That could be under 25 pass attempts for the game. Kittle typically has been the main target when he's played. Last year it was 5.5 targets a game for Ayuk. I know the matchup's great, but in a full PPR, he makes me the most nervous. Non-PPR, I'll take him over Shenault. Full PPR, give me Visca.
Antonio Brown or Saquon Barkley, PPR?
I can't say anything other than
you can say it. You can say it.
I'll leave it to Chris. If Chris wants to say it, he can say it, but I will start Saquon Barkley.
It's Saquon. Yeah.
I hope you guys are right. It's
me too.
Nervous about that.
Yeah. Well, what makes you nervous? Just it has nothing to do with Antonio Brown as much as it does Saquon.
Well, no, I think Antonio Brown definitely could have a good game. I think he's going to have a nice floor. I think he'll have 4 or 5 catches. So I could see him certainly getting 10 PPR fantasy points. I have no idea what Barkley's role is going to be. Also, I don't know if this is a tough matchup because I don't know if the run defense is the strength for the Broncos. It wasn't last year. It was for 3 games. Then Jarrell Casey got hurt. But honestly, I went back to the last 2 years, 2019, and then the one game he played in 2020. and I looked at Barkley against top 10 run defenses, teams that were top 10 in fantasy points allowed to running backs, and he struggled in 5 of the 6 games. He had 2 games with 6 or fewer yards. He had a game with 1 rushing yard against the Jets. He had 6 rushing yards against the Steelers. So, I mean, I think it's a product of the offensive line being as bad as it is. So I just don't know how good he's going to be if this is a tough matchup, but I'm not convinced that it is.
When I hear something like that, it makes me question the ability of the player.
No.
And we've been working under the assumption that Saquon Barkley is an amazing player, just a generational talent. But the generational talents play well against everybody.
Well, he hasn't. That's what I'm saying.
I know it's making
he hasn't
me a little nervous.
He's at the worst offensive line in football, arguably. I mean, that's
so is it? But Adam, is it he hasn't run the ball well, or he hasn't had good fantasy performances?
Both. I mean, mostly he hasn't run the ball well. I mean, the game against the Steelers, I think he had 6 catches.
Yeah, 6 catches for 60 yards.
But
who's more likely to score, Brown or Saquon?
Saquon.
I have no idea what Saquon's role is going to be. I mean, I guess when push comes to shove, I agree it's Saquon Barkley. But, obviously everybody's nervous, and it's a big unknown.
And we're getting a ton of questions about Antonio Brown because there's been like a groundswell for him in the last 24 hours. Both in Vegas, his over-under yardage number went from like 50 to 58.
I think he has the highest among the 3 wide receivers now for the.
That's pretty incredible. He scored in 5 of his last 6 games with Brady. But if you look at his games in Tampa last year and you throw out the game Mike Evans got hurt in, he averaged 5.9 targets per game. And against zone coverage, he averaged 3 fewer yards per catch than versus man. And the Cowboys are going to play a ton of zone.
Yeah, I have all 3. I have all 3 Buccaneers wide receivers as top 30 guys, but there's a difference between a top 30 guy and a wide receiver and a top, I think Barkley's 18 or 17 for me at running back. So it's,
you know what? Let's see I'm just going to pose it out there to all of you watching right now.
Brown's going to win the poll.
Barkley or Antonio Brown?
Do you think so? I'll say Saquon wins, but it'll be closer than 60-40.
I'm going to put it on Twitter as well after I read this next question.
Okay.
Josh Jacobs or Raheem Mostert?
Oh, I like Mostert.
I think I would go with Jacobs, but I don't feel super confident in it.
Can you sell me on Jacobs, Chris? Can you sell me on him, knowing what we know? First of all, he didn't practice on Wednesday. Hopefully he'll be okay. Let's assume that he's fine. Let's not use that.
No, there was a report today that he's going to be fine.
So he's going to be good? Okay, great. So we can throw it out. Sell me on him.
I mean, it's a tough matchup, and Mostert obviously has a much better matchup, but generally speaking, I think you can probably expect anywhere from 5 to 8 more carries for Jacobs than Mostert in any given game. Maybe that'll be different this week, but I kind of think as much as, I do like Mostert this week, given the matchup against the Lions, I don't expect him to get 18 carries. I still think we're going to see him in that 12 to 15 carry range, maybe a couple of catches, with Trey Sermon getting a lot of work. Like, this is a game that will probably be over fairly quickly. I think we all expect. And so, can you count on Mostert hitting a big play? Well, he's got a better chance than most in this matchup, but I feel more comfortable with Jacobs given the volume that he's likely to receive, even against a tough matchup. But it's very, very close, and I could be swayed very easily one way or the other.
I was surprised by the spread in this game. I mean, it came up on the podcast today because I think the Ravens are just going to steamroll them, and it's a 4.5-point spread. The Ravens won 9 games last year by 14 or more points. And what I said on the show is, if you're not on the same level as the Ravens, they just pulverize you. You can't compete with them unless you're a good team, basically. I think they're going to destroy the Raiders. I'm very concerned about Josh Jacobs.
Do you know how many points the Ravens have won by in their openers each of the last 3 years?
My gosh.
It's a massive
25.
Yeah.
I don't know.
20 point win, 20 plus points in the last 2 years. It's way more than that.
All right, guys. I'm sorry, I got us a little off track. I've got a ton of questions here, so we're going to just do some.
Do you want us to just go rapid fire with no explanation?
Sometimes. We'll catch up, right? We'll catch up when I feel like we need to catch up. All right, so here we go. Hawkinson or Kareem Hunt, PPR?
Hawkinson.
Davonte Smith or Ronald Jones, PPR?
Smith.
I think I would go with Jones.
Robbie Anderson or Raheem Mostert, PPR.
That's a good one.
I think I would go Robbie.
I've got Robbie ranked higher.
Bench game. Chenault or Kareem Hunt, PPR.
Kareem Hunt.
I believe I have Chenault ranked higher.
Judy or Montgomery or Gus Edwards, PPR. That's a tough one.
I can't believe Judy might be like third best on this list.
I think I would go Montgomery, Judy, Gus.
More bad news for Jerry Judy, by the way. Vic Fangio saying Cortland Sutton has turned the corner. It looks good.
He does look good.
No limitations. All right, so wait, who's
Judy's
going to?
I believe Judy is my third favorite of the three. Nope, he's my second favorite.
Who's your favorite?
David Montgomery is my favorite.
Okay. Why am I the only one who likes Gus Edwards? Ferkser, Everett, or Hooper?
I've missed that. I've missed the Hooper.
Hey, Hooper.
Hooper.
Do I still have that drop here?
Hey, Hooper. I like your version better than the real version. I will go with Gerald Everett. That's
Hey,
my
Hooper.
streaming tight end for week 1.
You ever seen Jaws, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Doesn't seem like kind of.
Looks at you with those dead eyes, like a doll's eyes.
Yeah.
One of the great scenes in film history.
All right. Who sits in a half PPR league? Waddle, Gallup, or Callaway?
I'm gonna sit Gallup.
Quick aside, I think it's interesting that we have a decent amount of faith in rookie receivers, or at least Davonte Smith and Jalen Waddle so far.
On this
look at Justin Jefferson last year, 6 targets in his first 2 games. Look at T. Higgins, did basically nothing. Look at Chase Claypool. The only guy who did anything in his first few games was CeeDee Lamb. I don't know about IU because I know he missed some time.
No,
but
I don't have any of the rookie wide receivers inside of my top 40 this week at wide receiver.
But you also don't have Gallup, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's a juicy matchup for Davonte Smith, that's for sure. Kenyon Drake, Gus Edwards, or DeAndre Swift, and yes, Josh Jacobs is playing.
Jacobs is playing. Gus Bus is the one to roll with.
I would go Swift over Gus.
All right. 4-point touchdown league, Superflex, Big Ben or Carson Wentz?
Roethlisberger. And I don't love the matchup for him.
Oh, man. Heath and Jamie crushed me today for saying I was going to start Wentz over Derek Carr. They didn't crush me, but they didn't agree with it.
I agree with it.
Yeah, thank you, Dave.
I like Wentz over Carr.
All right.
I think I do too. And I think like
Chris.
Wentz is being written off a little too quickly, I think.
It's a horrible setup. The guy's had no training camp, no preseason, no T.Y. Hilton. But I don't trust Carr against the Raiders. But
Ravens
or Raiders.
Or the
Adam, wake up. Get a coffee.
I'd probably take him against the Raiders, actually.
All right. Let's see. By the way, Saquon Barkley is crushing this Twitter poll right now. 2/3 of the vote. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it would be a little bit closer than 2/3.
Only 432 votes so far. All right. Pick 2 in this group, half PPR. All right. AJ Brown's going to play. So Julio, DJ Moore, Lockett. Pick 2.
I have more ranked lowest out of that 3.
I'm going to double check mine, but I think I actually have Julio ranked the lowest of the 3.
Yeah, I'm the Julio guy. Look, Julio's healthy. You start him, you know?
Yeah, but all 3 of these guys healthy, you're starting them. I mean, they're all drafted. They may have been drafted back to back to back in some drafts.
Playing a 3 wide receiver league.
Yeah, Julio's the one I've got ranked the lowest of those 4.
Wait, if you don't play in a 3 receiver league, why do you have all 3 of these guys?
The name of the game is to get good players on your team, Adam.
Yeah. Oh, I never.
Maybe that's
Adam
why you
always hates my teams because I have good wide receivers.
Well, because
every single team that I've got good wide receivers. And he's like, man,
you draft 6 wide receivers before your quarterback. It doesn't make any sense.
Chris, you're going to be proud of me. I took Travis Kelce 5th overall or 6th overall in a draft last night.
Yes,
it was a tight end mini premium. And I knew I'd be able to find running backs later on. I got Eckler in round 2.
Swift or Edmonds in PPR?
Swift.
By the way, Eckler, they're optimistic that he's going to play this week. We shall see, but not ruled out yet. Brandon wants to know, pick 2, Antonio Brown, Jarvis Landry, Brandon Ayuk.
I can't start Landry. Cannot do it.
I have Ayuk ranked lowest out of those 3.
So you're going to start Landry ahead of Ayuk.
Yep.
I would surprise me if Landry had more catches than Ayuk, but what he does with them.
Oh, yeah, that's the concern. For me, maybe I'm overreacting, but I've seen enough beat writers saying that Odell Beckham's probably going to be limited early on in the season that I just
really?
I've sort of written Odell Beckham off, at least for the first couple of weeks. Like, he's not inside of my top 50 this week. I know that could look really stupid, but
it's what you feel.
It sounds like he's going to be on a snap count.
He can be on a snap count. He still has upside, and you have to recognize that.
Definitely.
And so I like Beckham better than Landry. I just feel like Landry's just rarely a sexy player when Odell's on the field.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, speaking of sexy, did you guys get your igloo coolers?
I did.
Yeah.
I wanted to put it behind me for the video, and I don't know where my wife put it.
I can go get mine. I got this very nice Giants igloo cooler. Dave, you got a Bears, I'm assuming?
They sent me a Bears one. I was like, I can't believe they couldn't find, a Miami Hurricanes cooler or something like that. My son takes one look at it and goes, "This is mine." And now it's in his room. So
very cool.
The Bears cool. But I'm going to use it whenever we're in Florida. We go to the beach all the time.
Yeah.
Pop a couple of ice cold bottles of water in there.
Yeah.
Go to the beach and watch some All 22 on my iPad.
That's it. That's my idea of a beach day. Water on All 22.
Yes.
Go to igloocoolers.com. We all got our igloo coolers team logos. Can't wait to use it during football season. And psyched up. So get on that. igloocoolers.com. Very cool. Very sturdy. Like, seriously, really useful stuff and very cool designs.
Easy to use. Even I know how to use it.
You
just push a button, the thing opens, you put stuff in, you close it.
It's fun to push the button too.
It's been like they perfected this design a long time ago, and it has not changed because it's perfect.
Yeah.
I remember that was like the go-to cooler when I was a kid, and it's the same thing now.
Davonte Smith or David Montgomery?
Oh, Montgomery easily.
Can you please finish reading the note from Ghastly?
Please answer.
Please answer. It's Montgomery.
I'm not worried about David Montgomery. I know it's a tough matchup, but he's just the passing game role has been so good anytime Tariq Cohen hasn't been there. I know Damian Williams is better than the backups they had last year, but I think he's going to have a very similar role to what he did after Cohen's injury.
Well, you better hope he didn't have a similar game than what he had last year against the Rams.
It was ugly, yeah.
Even though he had some catches. He had 14 carries, 5 catches, and he had 69 total yards.
Nice.
That is better than what I expect from from Davonte Smith this week.
Yeah, it's 11 PPR fantasy points. Almost.
I think Smith can get you 11.
I hope so.
I like the matchup for Smith.
Yeah,
I think it fits him really well.
Gordon or Fournette, flex, half PPR.
Melvin.
Gordon.
Jake wants to know, Gus, Robbie Anderson, LaVisca, Corey Davis, half PPR, pick 2. All right, tough. This is a tough one here. Edwards, Anderson, not that tough for me. LaVisca and Corey Davis.
I'm taking the first 2.
Yeah.
Gus and Robbie.
Yes.
Okay. Myles Gaskin or Antonio Brown, half PPR.
Gaskin.
Yes.
We have a lot of Antonio Brown questions.
Yeah, a lot of people. I'm telling you, man, people are second guessing AB.
Damian Harris or Chase Claypool?
No one wants to make the mistake on the Thursday night game and have a big game on the bench. I'm a little worried about Claypool in the matchup against Buffalo, and I think Harris can score on the Dolphins. So
This
I
is
will say
PPR,
Damian
though, so keep
I know.
Claypool
I'm
ranked
still going
higher.
to say Harris.
Okay. I would love to know where Chris has all of the running backs who are not going to catch passes in PPR.
So in flex, I have Gus Edwards 53. I have Damian Harris 89, excuse me. And
This is overall, obviously.
Yeah, the flex rankings. And yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I like Nick Chubb. Derrick Henry should be very good.
Henderson, Gaskin, Antonio Brown, start 2.
I think I would go Gaskin and Henderson, but I don't feel great about it.
I'm going to go Gaskin and Brown.
Okay. Joseph, Miles Gaskin or Antonio Brown? I think we had that one
We
already.
just had that one.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But it's for a flex. The nice thing about it is that at least you now know that Brown is someone that you could potentially start from game to game.
Sure.
Everybody that's got Brown on their team, it's not like he's an afterthought. It's not like he's one of these old heads that can't do it anymore. At least that's what we think. I mean, he could go out there tonight and need one of those push things that the old people had that have the tennis balls underneath.
Yeah.
Though he might need one of those. So I don't think so.
A walker.
A walker.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
I'm young. I don't know what that is technically called. That metallic device to help people move.
All right, let's tell people walk. Yeah. So let's look at this one here. Pick 2, half PPR. Oh, first-time fantasy manager. Cool. Claypool, Marvin Jones, Marquise Brown. Who are you sitting?
I would be sitting Marquise Brown.
I like Brown this week. I think I'm sitting Jones of the 3.5 PPR. But I do have to mention that Marvin Jones might be the absolute best value on DraftKings. And I'm 100% going to start him in all of my DraftKings lineups.
20-team half PPR league. I ended up with Jared Cook as my tight end 1. Should I stick with Jordan Akins as a backup? Roll the dice with Kylan Granson or Brevin Jordan?
Well, first of all, I think Cook has a chance to put up some decent numbers this week, so I'm glad you have him. You can hold on to Akins for now, but I'm sure Brevin Jordan will eventually get his chance in Houston. Granson, there's been a lot of conversation about him, but when you watch him play, I don't think he does anything particularly special.
I would
I don't think you need Jordan Akins, though. I don't know.
If
I would consider grabbing Donald Parham.
There you go.
Oh, you're going to get both the Chargers tight ends.
I think
Parham is fun. I just don't know if he's going to play a lot.
That's the thing I'm wondering is I think Cook's not going to play a ton of snaps. I think he's probably going to be like a 50 to 60% snap guy. So there could be a role for Parham there.
Sure. They did like Cook in training camp. They did think that he gave them a good element to their offense. Parham, you might remember Parham from the XFL. He's like a 6'8" tight end, like just unbelievable height. Doesn't move that well because, the guy's almost 7 feet tall, but a unique guy. I think he might end up playing like 20 to 30% of the snaps. Now that I think about it, if Granson could get a good opportunity in Indianapolis, if you drop, no one's really interested in Texans players right now. You could drop Akins, pick up Granson, and just see what you got.
Yeah.
And if Granson ends up playing more like, a grandpa, then you can go and get somebody else.
Mo Alley Cox available in that league? I would also consider him.
How about Tyler Conklin? I would rather have Conklin than.
Looks like he's going to play in week 1.
Yeah. And he knows the offense there. He's played a lot.
Oh, here we go. Pittman, Harris, Callaway, or Terrace Marshall, PPR.
Damian Harris.
Damian or Callaway, PPR.
I think I have Harris ranked higher.
I think Marquez Callaway is my highest ranked player here.
Darrell Henderson, Cortland Sutton, or Kareem Hunt, full PPR.
Sutton.
I think it's
I have Henderson ranked higher.
Yeah.
Tyler Boyd or Gus Edwards, PPR.
Boyd.
I've got Gus like 3 spots ahead of Boyd.
All right, we need a flex. Barkley, T. Higgins, Corey Davis.
It's going to be more like a Gus bulldozer against the Raiders.
I hope so. Barkley, Higgins, Corey Davis.
It's Barkley.
It's Saquon. I love the way you played when you were a D tackle, Keith.
Would not feel great about benching T. Higgins, though. I think he's going to get off to an awesome
But it's a 10-team league.
Yeah.
I on the show today, I totally blanked on. I was starting T. Higgins over someone really good, and it was interesting, and I forgot. So I'm going to tell you right now.
It is fun. I did my longest running league is a 10-team league. It's always fun to just do a 10-team league after drafting 12 and 14 and all these weird drafts that we do. Because, man, that roster is just ridiculous.
It's not. I was totally wrong. It's not interesting at all. I'm starting him over Javonte Williams. Duh.
Wow.
What a waste of time that was. What a waste of time.
Interesting. We've wasted so much time already, Adam.
How about this one? Sam Darnold.
We don't even know what day of the week it is.
Sam Darnold or Raheem Mostert on this Friday afternoon.
And the Superflex, I'm going to go with Mostert.
No.
Really? Yeah.
I think it's Darnold. Good matchup.
It is a good matchup, but I don't know. I don't think
good
he's
pass
that good.
catchers.
This will be the best game of the season for Sam Darnold.
Maybe.
I promise. Yes, Noah Fant looks like he is playing this week.
Yes.
Noah Fant is going to play.
Naughty.
Antonio Brown or Adam Thielen?
Now this has to stop.
Yeah.
This has to be Thielen.
Yeah. Okay. Do I start Dak or Tannehill? Bonus points for 300 or 400 yards. Or if you throw a 40 or 50-yard touchdown.
I think it's Dak.
I agree, Chris. I think he's going to have to throw a bunch.
Right. Here's an interesting one for me, at least. Would you start Antonio Brown or Marquez Callaway?
Brown.
I think I'd go Brown too.
I said that really quickly, but I'm really not sure, Chris.
Yeah, I've got Callaway one spot ahead, and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
So you view Callaway as a good start even against Green Bay and Jair Alexander and Jameis making, debut in the Saints not at home.
Look, someone's got to catch passes for them.
The one thing that sticks out in the back of my mind on Callaway is that he was able to separate from everybody who lined up against this preseason, including the Ravens corners, and they were the Ravens starting corners when he played against them.
And he's, with Jameis Winston throwing him the ball and the profile that he has, he's also the kind of guy who, he could make his week with one play.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. And we like,
and Jameis won't be afraid to try it.
I just don't think he's going to get shadowed by Jair Alexander. I just don't think he's that.
No.
I don't think he's that.
Unless he has a couple of big catches early on and the Packers say, all right, we got to do something.
And your fantasy day is
if that happens, then you're happy you started him anyway.
Well, I mean, it could be something where he has like 60 yards on 3 catches in the first 20 minutes of the game.
All right, Josh Allen or Ryan Tannehill?
It's Allen.
You're
not sitting Josh Allen.
I'll ask you
unless he takes a huge step back, it doesn't matter who he's playing against.
I'll ask you the same question I asked on the podcast. How many quarterbacks scored more than 22 fantasy points against the Steelers last year? 6-point per passing touchdown league.
Baker Mayfield in the playoffs.
That is right. Anyone else?
Baker Mayfield did it once in the regular season too, right? He had like a 3 touchdown.
I want to say it was like 4.
0.
I want to say it was like 0.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield scored 6 points against the Steelers. Not one quarterback until Baker Mayfield in the playoffs scored more than 22 fantasy points.
So 100% of their last 1 games.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't think about it like that, did you?
No, it was one of those. Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson, Daniel Jones.
Maybe I'm on an island here. I'm a little worried about that Steelers defense being as good as it's been.
Oh,
they have plenty of good talent
on an island. Yeah, and they don't have Bud Dupree anymore. Secondary's getting
older. Right. No Hilton.
No Hilton.
Right.
All right, let's keep going here.
Mayfield did have 18 in week 17, so I was close.
Who did?
Mayfield against the Steelers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he faced them 3 times.
Yep.
Davonte Smith or Jalen. Well, by the way, you weren't really that close. Like 18, that's not.
That's pretty close.
I'm taking Smith.
And the Steelers, that was against their backups. Davonte Smith or Jalen Waddle.
Give me Smith.
Waddle.
Sermon or Antonio Brown.
Maybe.
Chenault or Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown.
AB.
Gio or Sermon. Half PPR.
Sermon.
Trey.
Callaway or Chenault, half PPR.
Callaway.
In a half PPR, I think you can talk me into Callaway.
Mike Davis or Jerry Jeudy, half PPR.
Davis.
I think it's Davis. Yeah, it's Davis.
I love this one. Wait, did I miss it? Hold on, let me find it. Okay, I'm going to look for it. I'm going to give you more. Swift or Robbie Anderson?
That's Swift for me.
I'll take Robbie.
How about this one? Marquise Brown, Jacoby Myers, Pittman, or Singletary? Pick one.
Marquise. Marquise has the most upside.
I would go with Myers.
Jacoby Myers or Mike Williams?
Myers.
Pick 2 of 3, Henderson, Swift, and Sutton.
I would be sitting Sutton.
Same here.
Pick 1, Claypool, Sermon, or Cooks.
If it's full PPR, I think Cooks is probably the best answer.
Oh, to start, yes, it's Cooks.
Somebody wrote. You remember someone wrote in, is Noah Fant playing?
Yes.
Someone else didn't like that, so they wrote, is Noah Fant playing? Google it, dummy. But they spelled Fant wrong, and they wrote, is Noah Grant playing? Google it, dummy. And I just thought that was kind of like
Noah Grant is not playing as far
call
as
the guy a dummy, and then you know Noah Grant. Oops. Miles Sanders or Jerry Jeudy PPR. Dude, the Falcons' run defense was sick last year, by the way. So is the Eagles.
I'm going Jeudy. But Adam knows that I'm just over the moon for Jeudy.
I think I have Sanders ranked higher. I don't feel good about it.
It's going to be interesting to see how they use Jerry Jeudy. I was looking at his slot snaps yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Beginning of the year, he played a lot out of the slot. Toward the end of the year, I don't know, probably his last 8 games or so, never more than 10 snaps. He was almost exclusively an outside receiver.
I'm sure they're going to mix and match him. And all the talk out of Denver has been how it's a completely different team from last year, because last year, new offensive coordinator, new offensive playbook. They didn't have a typical training camp and no preseason games. And apparently now everybody is just on the same page and in sync.
Hey, NBC, if I read this out loud, will you please stop typing it in the chat? Okay. Thank you for your enthusiasm. I just want to start Thursday Night Players, even if it isn't smart, damn it. I get it. We've been waiting since February to watch some football. We've been waiting since December to make fantasy decisions.
You want to have a sweat in the game.
Yeah, I get it. You should have some player that's going to be a lot of points tonight. Pick 2, Zeke, Taylor, and Sanders.
Sitting Sanders.
The Saints just acquired Bradley Roby from the Texans.
Well, we knew that.
Yeah.
That was out yesterday. Do we know what the compensation is, though?
A 2022 third round pick and a conditional 2023 pick.
Okay, that I did not know. That's a pretty good price for Roby.
He's suspended week 1.
He is.
All right, pick
good
2.
For Aaron Rodgers.
Lamb, Godwin, Julio, Higgins. Oh man, you have to pick 2 of these guys. Lamb, Godwin, Julio, Higgins, full PPR.
Lamb and Julio for me.
I will take Lamb and Godwin.
You don't like lamb and tuna fish? You prefer lamb and tuna fish? No? Big Daddy? I wasn't going to do the accent, but, all right.
I don't just have, we were talking about this on the show. I haven't seen Big Daddy in a long time. I don't have Big Daddy quotes just like off the top of my dome.
Rob Schneider. He's like, you prefer lamb and tuna fish?
No, I know. I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know how to read.
Waddle or Judy?
Judy.
I'm sorry. I just got to say something here. Somebody tweeted the Mount Rushmore of Adam Sandler movies and didn't put Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison on.
Well, he put grown-ups on there.
He put grown-ups on
the more egregious thing.
What a terrible tweet. Kick him off Twitter.
Cabadoo.
Henderson or Damian Harris, PPR?
Henderson.
I have Henderson ahead of Harris in PPR.
Chris Carson or T. Higgins, PPR?
Carson.
Yes.
Damian Harris, Marquez Callaway, or Hollywood Brown, PPR?
I have Callaway higher.
I believe I have Marquise Brown, highest of them all. Hollywood.
I keep missing out on these ones that are really fun. Yeah, see? It goes together like lamb and tuna fish. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the quote there. All right. Myles Gaskin, Saquon Barkley, PPR.
Would you believe that I have Gaskin ranked higher?
I have Barkley 1 spot ahead, so flip a coin.
Judy or Mostert, PPR?
Judy in PPR.
I think I would go Judy, yeah.
Chenault or Jacoby Myers? Man, I think we're getting a pretty good idea of who people have questions about, huh?
Sure. We recommended a lot of these receivers like Callaway and Chenault and Myers, and now people are like, okay, now what do I do?
Yeah.
And the answer is you start him, and then they go, but I drafted more than one of them. And now we're at this point. I like Myers better than Chenault.
I have Chenault one spot higher than Myers. Why? Like, I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Because I just can't give a pick with conviction.
Yeah, and they've got so much in common. These are both slot receivers for their teams with rookie quarterbacks who are good. And they both have, well, I guess Chenault doesn't have a tough matchup by comparison, but I don't think Myers' matchup is that bad either. It's who's going to get more targets. And I just feel like Myers has the chance to get.
I have them projected for the same amount of targets and within 1.5 yards of each other.
Look at this question. My fiance, who won the league last year, is dead set on starting Freiermuth as her tight end. Please talk her out of this.
Is it because of what he did in the preseason? Probably. Because a lot of people didn't really know what Pat Freiermuth was all about until then.
He's going to play. He's going to have a role.
Yeah,
but he's the number 2 tight end on a team that has 3 really good wide receivers.
He's a nice big body, but he's the number 2 tight end. They still have Eric Ebron, and I assume they're going to use Ebron more than Freiermuth. And I feel like those touchdowns he scored against the Lions, first of all, they were against the Lions' backup defensive players. And I feel like Roethlisberger is like the reason. I don't think Freiermuth did anything special on those plays other than be in the right place at the right time. I think Roethlisberger is the one who, on the pump fake one, manipulated the defense. And then on the other one, I just think Roethlisberger saw him through, didn't really care if it was Freiermuth or anybody else.
They were nice, like tough contested catches.
Yeah, I think you're not giving him enough credit. They were good catches on darts in a small window. And he's got great hands, and Eric Ebron doesn't. And by the way, the Bills allow the 4th most fantasy points to tight ends. They saw the most tight end targets last year.
Yeah, but they're still
because they have good cornerbacks. So they saw, look, I'm not starting Pat Freiermuth, but
are you rostering him?
No.
Okay, then what are we doing here?
Tight end to be good.
I think this is going to be. I think it's going to be like Cole Kmet's situation last year. I think Pat Freiermuth is going to be the number 1 tight end down the stretch for the Steelers. But you can't use him early on.
All right, we got about.
Let's see what his usage is after week 1. That'll be interesting.
Galladay, Chenault, or Claypool, PPR.
Or Odell, right? Odell's in that mix, if I'm reading.
Oh, correctly. Yeah, I'm sorry. OBJ, Galladay, Chenault, Claypool.
I have Galladay ranked higher out of those 3, but I don't feel good about it at all. So Galladay. Can't stay with my chest, though.
There's no way I'm starting Galladay.
No.
Over Chenault and Claypool.
I can't.
So I'm surprised, Chris. I really didn't expect that.
Yeah. He's gonna play. He's practicing right now. He's been limited so far, but he's gonna play. I think he's probably gonna be the number 1 option, if not him, Sterling Shepard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't feel good about it.
I guess you don't feel good about any of these guys.
No, I'm not super confident in any of those. Like Chenault's 42 for me, Claypool's 37, and Galladay is 36. So it's like, low end guys all across the board, or low end starters.
This question keeps coming up. Yes, we're going to start Zeke even against the Bucs. It might be a tough day for him on the ground.
If you've got Gaskin or Edwards, you can probably get away from Zeke.
Nah. He's number 10 for me. Start him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think we on the Thursday episode, we kind of talked about our week 1 overall philosophies, and a lot of people say just start who you drafted as starters. But my question for you would be, if I told you that Allen Robinson was playing 17 games this year against the Los Angeles Rams, where would you rank him at wide receiver?
Right.
You'd never take him in the 3rd round.
No chance.
You wouldn't rank him in the top.
I don't know if I would take him in the 6th round.
Well, I guess then I'll ask the question. Ezekiel Elliott was pretty much the consensus number 5 or number 6 pick in drafts this year.
Yeah.
If I told you you were guaranteed to only get 15 games out of him for your fantasy season,
I'd still
would he have been the number 5 pick?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I expect almost all the running backs to miss a couple of games.
Right. If you told me he was
right, but he's going to miss games on top of, like, if you're not starting him in week 1, you also have to assume he's going to miss games on top of that, like every other running.
Right. You didn't say that though. You said he was going to play 15 games.
Right. But I'm saying, right. he's going to play a max of 15 games for
Okay,
your
so
fantasy.
that's different. If you're telling me let's just say he's suspended for the first 2 weeks of the season, would I still have taken him? Or maybe he's suspended for weeks, 8 and 13, whatever. I probably still would have taken him at 5.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you were playing the Bucs 17 games, I would have taken him in the 3rd round, probably.
Right.
So you're still starting him.
In all likelihood, yeah. Let's see. T. Higgins, Mike Davis, Brandon Cooks. Sit 1.
Cooks.
Half PPR.
I'll sit Cooks there.
Yeah. Have you thought more about the matchup for Mike Davis, Dave? Because I think it sucks. I'm very nervous. By the way, for those of you who don't know, I picked the Eagles to win the division, and I really think they can. Their defense, their front seven is going to be pretty damn good. This front defense is tough.
I think their front seven will be better. I think it'll be good no matter what, but certainly I think they'll be better at rushing the quarterback than they will be at stopping the run. And I don't think Davis is great, but I think the usage is going to be high. I don't think he's going to be taken off the field a whole lot, at least not this week.
And I'll just say, the Falcons do have the 10th highest implied total for the week. So I don't know if Vegas thinks the Eagles are going to shut this offense down.
I didn't say they're going to shut the offense down. Their secondary looks pretty bad or below average. But yeah, the Eagles stink. The Eagles might stink. They really might. They didn't miss the division by that much last year. Everybody was alive. They were so injured. I think they should have a much better offensive line. And if we like Jalen Hurts, then he should turn their fortunes around a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Sutton Gallup or Marquise Brown, half PPR.
Marquise.
I have Sutton ranked highest.
God, I hate picking the Eagles to win the division, by the way. It's not good.
Then why'd you do it?
Because I feel...
Because last year, someone has to win the division.
It's never who you think. Brown or Beckham is going to
No one thinks the Giants are going to win the division. Does that mean they're going to win the division?
They might.
Okay.
Melvin Gordon, we answered that one. We said Fournette.
Fournette over Fournette. We just don't know how much work any Bucs running back will get, but we think that Jones has the best chance to lead them in carries.
Herbert or Tannehill?
I have Tannehill slightly higher, but you can make the case that with the bonus for 300 yards, Herbert definitely has more upside.
Agreed.
How fired up are you for the Cardinals-Titans game?
Should be fun.
I think it could end up being a sneaky shootout, like maybe the highest scoring game of the week. Arizona's defense has not matured like they thought it would. The secondary has some real problems.
The Titans
real
have the
problems
fourth highest. Titans have the 4th highest implied total of the week.
Where do the Cardinals come out on that?
Cardinals are 12th. That has the 2nd highest over under of the week.
Okay, so what the hell
just
am I
behind
talking
Browns, Chiefs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what about Cowboys Bucs? Are you counting that one or no?
That's half a point behind Titans Cardinals.
The Cardinals defense might swing based on their last 2 first-round picks, Isaiah Simmons and Zaven Collins. See how those guys do. They have to take some steps up. Thielen or more, non-PPR.
Thielen.
Oh, non-PPR. It might be still more.
Debo or Cooks, non-PPR.
Cooks.
What are your thoughts on leagues adding additional IR spots due to COVID?
Do it.
Yeah, we have 5 in all of our leagues.
Yep.
Basically.
Now, what you will see is people take advantage of that by stashing guys on IR. It'll be everybody from T.Y. Hilton to PUP guys like Jeff Wilson, IR guys like Mike Boone, guys that can just come back eventually. But when they're regular players on their starters and on their bench actually need to go on the IR, they're going to use those spots.
Yeah, I mean,
so as long as you're okay with people kind of speculating on those IR guys, go for it.
In the leagues where I'm commissioner, you can only put players on IR if they're on the long term, either PUP or IR, not for COVID or because he's questionable this week or anything like that.
I allow COVID IR. I think it's only fair.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of cases this year. So it helped last year. It certainly helped. You shouldn't have to make ad drops when somebody gets COVID.
Agreed.
On Friday. Or he's just a close contact, All right. DeAndre Swift or Antonio Brown, PPR.
I have Swift higher.
Yes.
AJ Dillon or Sermon? Well, Eckler's not going to be out, but who would you rather have, Dillon or Sermon this week?
Sherman.
Yeah.
Okay. Jacoby Myers or Josh Jacobs, full PPR?
Myers. I like the football, CB. Thank you.
Here's a question that just came to mind. Are we being? I just got a tweet notification about it, reminding me. Are we being too sanguine about a 44-year-old quarterback coming back from a torn MCL?
Who last played in February?
No,
not a shorter offseason.
I don't think so.
No,
he's healthier
I don't
now
think
than he
we
was last year. He was playing through it last year. He was limited. Now he's not even wearing a knee brace, I think. Right? Didn't he say he's like doesn't want to wear a knee brace? I don't think so. Look, Chris.
I just think it's worth surfacing the question.
I'm not going to have a very good fantasy season if we are. So I'm all in on Tom Brady. I think he's going to be great. Let's see. Week 1 survivor pool, Philly cheesesteak or a Reuben?
Philly cheesesteak every time.
Every time.
Yeah. Every single time.
Yeah. Reubens can be good, but the cheesesteak is just one of those excellent treats that you should have once a week.
Would you drop the Colts DST for the Panthers DST?
Yes.
Sure.
Yep.
Welcome to streaming.
Zeke, Najee, CEH, and Henderson. Who are you sitting?
Henderson.
I'm sitting Henderson.
I don't see the question. Here it is. Tampa or Minnesota DST?
Question.
Boy.
I've got to double check my ranks for that one. I've got the Bucs. I've got the Bucs higher.
I think I would go with the Vikings.
This is a tough one. In PPR, who has the least upside? Zeke, Gibson, Gus, or Henderson?
I'm eliminating Gibson. I'm eliminating Gus. I think they've got some good upside.
Chris is definitely going to say Gus.
Well, yeah, I think the guy who doesn't catch passes is always going to have the lowest upside.
Right, but he's still going to have a lot of opportunities to get carries and to score touchdowns, and I'm happy to have that. I'm going to say Henderson is the least upside of the four. He's got tough matchup, just like Zeke has.
Passes. So,
what's that?
We don't know if he's going to catch passes.
Gus or Henderson?
Henderson.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident Gus isn't. Henderson. I do think there's a decent chance Michelle's actually the better pass catcher in that backfield.
A couple questions here about quarterbacks. Prescott or Stafford?
Dak.
Yes.
Ooh, I love the Thursday night second guessing.
Big Ben, Mac Jones, Jared Goff.
Well, the answer is never going to be Goff. I'll shrug and go with Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
Oh, it's never going to be Goff, huh? Dave, Jared Goff or Daniel Jones?
Jones.
No, yeah. Really?
Rushing.
Sure. Yeah.
Rushing? Okay. Let's see. Oh, you got an A grade in your draft. All right, so he's worried he's playing a good team. Don't worry about the draft grades.
Yeah, draft grades are silly. Not the end-all be-all.
They're fun, but they're just kind of silly.
All right.
Start 1, Chase Edmonds, Leonard Fournette, or Marvin Jones?
Edmonds.
I think I might have Jones higher than Edmonds. I am double checking because I don't want to steer you wrong.
I think there is
I do.
I think there is a chance that Edmonds is the highest riser from week 1 to week 2 rankings.
It's a good matchup for him, and I think he'll play the most of any Arizona running back, unless the Cardinals just build a crazy lead and they can just sit on it with Connor. But I think Marvin Jones has a pretty good matchup now, and I think he could end up being the better guy. I think he's got just as good of I think he's got a better chance to score than Edmonds. Edmonds has one career goal line carry.
I might offer Josh Jacobs straight up for Chase Edmonds. I cannot tell you how much. Yeah, I cannot tell you how much I want Josh Jacobs off my team. I have zero interest in him this year.
I think I had Jacobs one spot higher in preseason rankings, but I think there's a chance that Edmonds, if he gets 13 carries this week, and his expected passing game workload, I think a lot of people are going to move him up in their rankings a lot.
What's the expected passing game workload for you?
I would say 4-ish targets.
Yep. Oh no, I was going to say 4-ish catches. I think 4 to 5 catches is in play for him.
I have him for 5 targets this week.
All right, this is a question. What Sandler movie is this from? Shaving the chest, nobody needs a unibrow. I I don't know. I'm going to guess it's you don't mess with the Zohan. That just kind of makes sense.
Sure.
Let me
I have
see.
no idea.
So nobody needs it. Okay, let's find out, and then we'll go to we'll finish up with some rapid fire here for the last 5 minutes. 8 Crazy Nights. It's from 8 Crazy Nights.
Well, you've never seen it, Adam.
No, that's why you're supposed to know. You have. You were just.
I don't remember that line from it.
All right. Well, I'm disappointed in you guys.
But he's
Here we
right.
go.
Nobody needs a unibrow. Except
Debo or
Anthony
Gus
Davis.
Edwards?
Gus.
I finally answered Gus.
You did it.
Judy, Marvin Jones, Corey Davis, PPR. Pick one.
Judy.
Oh,
I think it's. I actually have Corey Davis ranked higher.
this one's gross. James White, Philip Lindsay, Mike Carter.
White.
White.
Yeah, White.
At least it's a full PPR.
Yeah.
What movie is this from? It's White. That's Dodgeball, White Goodman, when he knocks on her door. He's like, it's White. 12-team half PPR.
What a quote that was. What movie is
Adam,
this from?
you have the
Hey,
best
how are you?
references, bro. I always tell people my friend Adam has the best references. What movie is that from?
I don't think you're telling the truth there. Swift, Higgins, or Judy. Pick one, half PPR.
I think I'm going Judy.
Swift.
I'm going Higgins. Very helpful.
Hey.
I can't believe you're going Judy over Higgins. That's really surprising to me.
Why?
Well,
What's so surprising?
they're very
about it?
similar, right, in your rankings.
Sure.
So who's got the better setup? Who's got the better matchup?
I think Judy has more upside.
You do.
I do. Well, obviously, if I'm ranking him ahead of Higgins, Higgins is going to run into Patrick Peterson all day or Bashaud Breeland all day, and those guys are okay.
What do you think
And
about
I
this?
think the pass rush is going to be in Joe Burrow's face. Push comes to shove.
Chris, what's this one from, huh?
I know this one.
Yeah. What do you think, Chris?
I don't know.
Philly Madison.
Billy Madison, yeah.
Shampoo is better.
Exactly. Mostert or CeeDee Lamb, PPR.
Lamb.
Allen Robinson, Kenny Galladay, or Marquez Callaway. Pick one.
Allen Robinson.
Yeah, reluctantly.
With my chest.
David Montgomery or Ronald Jones, PPR.
Monty.
Yeah. Carson or Cup,
You know what?
PPR.
If it's full PPR, I think it's got to be Cup.
Okay.
I think it's Cup. Yes.
All right, here's a question that if you missed the first 55 minutes, this is basically all we've been talking about. And every time I go to click something, there's like 10 more questions come in.
Uh-huh.
It said, is Antonio Brown a good wide receiver 3 tonight?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. DJ Moore or Adam Thielen?
DJ Moore. I think I might have answered Thielen earlier. But I'm looking at my rankings now. I do have Moore a little bit higher than Thielen. I'm gonna have to revisit.
Oh,
that.
yeah. Look, this year, just to get ready. I'm not going to respond well to these things. So glad we're dedicating so much time to we have answered like 200 questions, man. I don't know which question you want me to answer, but we have answered so many questions. Your question, I'm sure, is about Antonio Brown. So just start him, for God's sake. All right. Pick 2, Montgomery, Boyd, Kareem Hunt, or Trey Sermon. Montgomery, Boyd, Kareem Hunt, or Trey Sermon.
Monty and Boyd.
Yeah. Adam, by the way, you should give that guy a refund.
Yeah. Right? I woke up from a nap for this. Jalen Reagor or Melvin Gordon? Ugh.
Time to nap when it's Valentine's Day. There's no more football on. We're all miserable. Gordon over Reagor.
Okay. Is Leonard Fournette or Naeem? This is a good one. Leonard Fournette or Naeem Hines? I think
you can make a case for Hines in full PPR.
Yeah, I do have Fournette ranked higher, but don't feel good about it.
Yeah, look, I don't know if this is going to hold true, but last year, Seattle allowed 40 or more receiving yards to 6 running backs, 30 or more receiving yards to 11 running backs. This was a problem for them last year. And, they're a little short on receiving options, and they said they wanted to get him more involved. So it's a good question. You heard cases for both sides there. We got a couple minutes left. Jacoby Myers or AJ Green, half PPR.
Myers.
Myers, right? Yeah. Davonte
There's always a
Smith.
question where it makes us pause for like a second. And, oh, yeah, obvious.
Devontae
Smith
Smith
for
or
me.
Big Man?
Smith.
Oh, where's the one I was going for? No, not those. We already answered those. Go with Montgomery. There it is. Darnold, Roethlisberger, or Burrow?
Burrow.
LaVisca, Swift, or Sutton, half PPR?
Swift.
Sanders, Gordon, Devontae Smith, PPR?
Sanders.
Which Sanders?
Assuming
Is
it's
that
Miles.
Miles.
And which Gordon? Commissioner?
Yeah.
I think Sanders is who I'd pick.
Colonel Sanders, Commissioner Gordon, and
By the way,
Dave Smith, my old neighbor.
The best Commissioner Gordon, if you guys haven't watched Harley Quinn on HBO Max, Chris Maloney plays Commissioner Gordon, and it's incredible. That show is so good. I highly recommend it. Don't watch it with your kids.
okay. You just said a bunch of names that I just don't even know what they are.
Chris Maloney from SVU. Come on.
A lot, PPR, a lot of SVU.
I'm sorry you don't have enough room in your life.
CBS and Netflix.
You don't have enough room in your life to move out some Adam Sandler movies.
Hawkinson over Pitts.
Hawkinson over Pitts. All right.
Yeah, probably. No, Pitts. No, Hawkinson.
Yeah, it's tough. By the way, I plugged CBS last night, late night watching USA Soccer. Awesome win, all on Paramount Plus. It was great. Good stuff there. All right, a couple more. Julio Jones or Allen Robinson?
Julio.
That is a player I would bench Allen Robinson for.
There we go. Last one. Higgins, Sermon, or Ronald Jones? PPR.
Adam, I'm going to make you happy. It's T. Higgins.
Woo!
We got him. We got him in.
Higgins and PPR, Higgins and non-PPR.
Higgins and both. All right, great.
Higgins and both.
All right, this was our first Tuesday or Thursday. I don't even know. Thursday afternoon stream. It was a lot of fun. I only yelled at one viewer, so that is good. I'll try to reduce that number every week. Thanks a lot to Dave and Chris for hanging out. Thanks a lot to all of you as well. Remember, we're on Sunday morning at 11:30 a.m., not p.m., 11:30 a.m. We'll see you there to answer your questions. And then we got 8:15 p.m. 8:15 p.m. we're starting our podcast that you'll hear on Monday morning or Sunday night. We're going to stream it live right here on YouTube as well. So thanks a lot for tuning in. And thanks a lot to Alex for producing. Ben Schrager, as always. Dave and Chris, I'm Adam. Have a great day, everybody. Let's watch some football tonight. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the podcast.